Hey guys, welcome to the 800 round match of the Global League Review. So this is an interesting one. I've barely seen any the new top tier high fund games. So I'll be very interested to see how this goes. I haven't really taken a look ahead, only just to see how many days it is to resignation. Um, just so that I know that it's not going to be a 5-turn game. But yeah, so this is an interesting one. It's Hawk versus Sensei. Uh, I'm not sure if Kanbei was banned on this map or not. We can find out. Sec. Oh wait, hold on. We got it too. All right, so indeed Kanbei was banned. So with Kanbei banned, it opens up a lot of possibilities. Um, One of the main worries that I've heard Voice of Akasha say that I kind of agree with is that Eagle might end up being too strong. But we don't see Eagle here, so we get to see sort of one of the off matches, which is cool. It's so again, Hawk versus Sensei. Um, so of course, Hawk enjoys his extra firepower and then a very strong stall game if he chooses to take it that way. And then Sensei also kind of has stall in mind, but in a different way. I mean, he can get up to unit count very quickly, and then beat down your unit count while continuously re, not replying, respawning infantry. And with that, he can form lots of effective shields for his indirects, as well as shields for his important counter units. So, for instance, he can keep his anti-air pretty safe. He can keep his neo-tanks pretty safe against yours. So he can threaten first strike a lot more often because he has so many layers of meat shields for his important units. At least that's how he plays at top level. We'll see kind of what happens when the two players aren't at top level. So the two players here are the Lookout Point, who is 705, 11 and 31. And we have Fallen Angel, 1207. They are 3 and 1. So this is actually like neither of these players are that experienced. So yeah, let's just sort of see what happens. I literally have no idea what's happening. I would guess that Sensei would probably win, just because CO power spam seems like an obvious thing to do. And why would you pick Sensei in top tier if you didn't think that? If you didn't know, if you're a beginner at the game, most of the time Sensei doesn't seem that good. So if you're a beginner at the game and you know that Sensei is good, your opponent might not have that knowledge of what to expect. So it might give you a little advantage. I don't know. So yeah, we'll see here. Okay, so going for the opponent's city, that's a good first sign. Okay, capturing in a pretty natural way, that's good. All right, all good things so far. So I kind of doubt we're going to see an APC, just because neither of these players are particularly experienced, but APC on this map tends to be pretty good. Not like God tier, but pretty good. Okay, so neither player is rushing airport, it seems. I think with Sensei, you should consider booking it for the airport so you can spawn out a few B-copters right away. Just consider it. You don't have to do it, of course. All right, so second infantry out of the base, though, looks like it's going for the airport, if I counted correctly. Maybe it's the third, actually. Hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah, actually, the third infantry is the airport infantry. Yeah, I would suggest actually the second. Um, okay, Sensei opening rocket. I think they know what they're doing. Oh, and an APC. Ooh, spicy. Okay, the APC is a little awkward because it doesn't have somebody from the back ready to go and transport it. But yeah, I like the idea. It's good. Oh, but actually the Neo tank opens, so responding, responding with rocket APC is a little bit slow. So um, you could imagine like double tank in response to this, and then suddenly Sensei is kind of in a bind. So he might lose the opening here if he doesn't come up with a good. Oh, okay, so rocket. So interesting. All right, so Hawk decides to respond rocket to rocket. Um, my personal response would probably be double tank. You could even do double tank recon if you really want to punish this build hard. Um, yeah, that would be my personal preference. Medium tank is also on the board. Although medium tank, like a one-on-one medium tank and rocket, you have to be a little careful. Okay, recon from Sensei. Um, doesn't reach the comm tower in time to interrupt. Um, and Sensei recons are not especially good, but as like a substitute for tanks for interrupting caps and high funds, yeah, I can get on board with that. So now you see the problem with. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention, and didn't occur to me until immediately, well just now. So Sensei's been floating lots and lots of money. They ended their turn with 25k. There should be a Neo tank right here, and because there isn't a Neo tank right here, this infantry is going to get hit for free, which could spell disaster for Sensei's economy account. Because see, if this is a Neo tank, then it moves up next turn. Sorry, this turn, and then it covers all of this. But the lack of Neo tank, yeah. See, the Neo tank is just a turn. This should be another Neo tank too. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. Neo tank is a turn late, so this is not good. Okay, it actually goes for the comm tower kill instead of the city. So the thing about going for the city is that like there isn't somebody available to start capture immediately after. So now what Sensei can do is move the Neo tank up safely, recapture the comm tower, and then it's like no problem. Like that, nothing else can reach, and you're never going to interrupt the comm tower cap with the Neo if you're going to get smacked. So kind of small errors on both sides that could have snowballed the game. So double artillery preemptive is kind of interesting. And then a base skip in order to go bomber. Not such a big... Actually, it's against Sensei, so you probably never want a base skip. So you probably want to do infantry and then Neo tank. That way the bomber... instead of having a bomber here, you have a Neo tank here. Or on some other base. Yeah, that's what I would prefer. Bomber, again, like, yeah, it's just an issue of like unit count versus Sensei. You should take every opportunity to stay up ahead of unit count against Sensei as you can, because you're going to need it in like 5 turns. Okay, good. So green sees the move. recapture, safe Neo, and now I get the comm tower anyways. So now you also see one of the problems with early Rocket, which is that it's just a little bit naked right now. And the other thing it can't do is like it can't like comfortably sit by itself. You know? Like anti-air can hit it, bomber can hit it. Also, no response to bomber is kind of freaky. Like no anti-air response, no fighter response. Both of these things are a little bit weird. And the infantry skip with Sensei, not such a big deal, of course, because the CO power is so good. So yeah, I would say game looks even-ish. No huge advantage one way or the other. So yeah, nice pick off with the infantry by the rocket. I don't know why you would hit the infantry from the left in rocket range. Probably better to go over to the right so that you have to have a bomber hit it. Also, your rocket is about to get smacked by a bomber, which you do not want. That's not good. Is the Neotank about to get hit? Or okay, now the bomber has choices. Uh-oh. Okay, here's the fighter response, which is good. Okay, this capture seems pretty optimistic. I guess it overloads the rocket. But at the same time, the infantry can interrupt. All right, so nice positioning here to keep the rocket happy and safe while also keeping the second anti-air happy and safe. Okay, actually there's a free bomber hit on this anti-air if Sensei wishes to take it. And it's also a copter command turn. So there's going to be an infantry spawn here and here. The big one is here. Looks like you can get an infantry shot there. I think there's like not much reason to hold on to copter command right now. Okay, sacrificing the infantry for hitting the Neo tank is extremely strange. Okay, yeah, it decides to kill the anti-air. Very good call. Unless Sensei is going um, straight for the mech super seal power. So yeah, Sensei looking pretty good here. No free shots, and he just did a bit of damage. Only problem was that this fighter move was like extremely passive. The fighter could have been way out here, no problems. Which actually kind of, okay, loses a Neo tank there, but he's going to counter hit with a fighter. That's an even exchange, basically. Okay, so he'll get a mech here, mech here, mech here, mech here. Okay, so looking like things are going to be moderately even after Sensei Super CO power. Okay, no power yet. That's pretty strange. With the extra firepower, he might have been able to one-shot that infantry. I'm not sure. Okay, and here comes airborne assault. which should have come earlier. So he gets the lovely firepower increase. In fact, with the firepower increase, he might have been able to kill this infantry. Although, you know, he doesn't get a mech from there, so it's kind of a bummer. A missile? Oh my lord. Oh, this guy's really going for meme strats, because you can park the missile here. I absolutely love these 800 players. They're so scrappy. They try these ridiculous ideas. Okay, unfortunately, here comes Black Storm. So our memeing, but like secretly talented Sensei player is going to eat a ton of damage. Okay, loses a bomber. Now his fighters don't really counter Hawk's fighters all that well because they're at 8 HP now. They can't really heal that well because they have to go back to the airport, which isn't very fun. So yeah, okay, I think Hawk actually made a kind of a bad mistake here, which is something that you can do a lot. Something that's like an easy mistake to make versus Sensei, which is you see some mechs and you're like, oh, I know. I'm going to hit all these mechs with my infantry. Just dive with all my infantry. The bad problem with that is if all of these infantry die and this tank dies, then like Sensei's unit count is going to be very high compared to. And you have to always be thinking about relative infantry count when you're talking about Sensei. Because if he has double your unit count, you have, like, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, it's extremely hard to win the game. So let's see what happens here. Okay, the fighter hit, I support. Now, there are not that many Sensei infantry in the middle left. Okay, definitely support this move, kind of. Although this Neo-Tank shot is a problem. Okay, could have been cleaner, I think. A little sketchy for Sensei. But because he built the missile, I'm rooting for him. Also, that missile should have gone over here. I don't know what it's doing in the middle of the map. It needs to lock this airport from the right-hand side. It's like got to be a ticking time bomb on Hawk's end of the spectrum. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now A8 in mech range. That's freaky. Yeah, unfortunately, these two attacks not great. Although we are getting pretty close to Sensei Super CEO power again. You kind of have to wonder. Okay, I think Sensei might have. So there's like, so mech spawn here hit this tank is really juicy. Mech spawn here hit this tank is really juicy. With the extra power hitting this anti-air is really good. I think that it might be worth it to like. So okay, we'll see if Sensei gets Super Seal power this turn. I would support that. Going for Super Seal power. Okay, captures doesn't hit anti-air. I would really like to see hitting anti-air. Because otherwise the anti-air just hits your mech and you die. So okay, missiles going towards center. This guy is a nut job. Oh, and then fighter on fighter gets into Super Seal power. Nice. Okay. Okay, both of the really great Super Seal power shots are going to go through. That's good. Getting out some copters, that's good. Oh, I see. The mech supports this mech. Fair enough. Get some joins in there. Okay. Hitting the Neo instead of hitting the tank. Okay, I could go either way on that. That's fine. Also, nice job getting the APC out. I know it's always a little sketchy to like trying to find your APC timing. Um, but yeah, good job getting the Super C, getting the APC out early so that it can transfer mechs from the back of the map to the center. All right, so Sensei's main problem right now is that Hawk is like way up in value, about to get a Super CO power. He's down in income, and he's kind of behind on Neo Tank. So yeah, Sensei has a few problems to sort out right now. Okay, cutting the anti-air is a great start. I think artillery spam might be a good option for Sensei right now. Yeah, so Sensei's still way behind in unit value. Oh, also, yeah, this Super CO power hurts quite a bit. Um, that was that thing that just died was Sensei's last Neo tank, so that's not a good sign. Oh, and here comes the HQ cap. Uh-oh. And there it is. um, and Sensei doesn't have any sneaky CO power tricks either. Everything's out of range. So yeah, it looks like a GG here. Yeah, nice little move here found by Hawk. But okay, so he's gonna play it out a little bit longer, but game's over. Okay. So yeah, I would say things looked pretty all right for Sensei for a while. I just think that Hawk had the better idea of going more into Neotanks and keeping his Neotanks safe, whereas Sensei was just a little bit too reckless with his Neotanks. And like, double B copter, 2 B copters is 18K. That's not that short of a Neotank. 3 B copters, instead of 3 B copters, if he had an extra Neotank around, that might be pretty all right. But getting behind 1, 2, 3, 4 Neotanks to half a Neotank is like totally unacceptable. Like you can't win the game like that unless you have like some ridiculous number of medium tanks and artillery or something. So yeah, getting this far behind in Neotank count, I think, kind of spells disaster. Not to mention Hawk just kind of um, wipes the floor with Neotank exchanges during his Super CO power. Okay, cool. So yeah, that was the 800 match. I think the takeaway from this, in terms of like, beginners playing top tier high funds, is that funny button good? Like, like funny button is just a strategy that anybody can use, and if you have like 2 people that are evenly matched for the most part, but one has like kind of a subtle, complicated Super CO power, and the other has a funny button, the funny button wins most of the time. So yeah, that was the 800. Tune in next time for the 900.